Hello, my name's Paul-Beckett, and today this video is kind of like, I don't know, sort of like a part three to the last two I've made. I don't know whether you've watched them or not, but I've been talking a lot about how our choices between truth or illusion. I've been talking a lot about the fact that the world we perceive with the body senses is, an illusion, a dream. And I think sometimes when we have those conversations, it can lead to a sense of hopelessness or a sense of what now, what next. And that's the last thing I want to do. I don't want to share information and then it kind of, appear like, well, it's just desolate. What's the point? So actually now, yes, I realized my true nature. Yes, I realized that I only have two choices instead of all the myriad of choices that appear to be available to me in the world. Yes, I know that the lifetime I'm perceiving, the apparently physical world around me, isn't the truth, but there's hope. This isn't like a hopeless story. This isn't a, oh God, we've just realized that everything we thought was true isn't, and now what? We're just left in this wasteland of what's the point? Not at all. When I realized these things, it brought a freedom, it brought a peace, it brought a connection that I didn't even know was possible with the world around me. Yes, I'm saying it's an illusion. Yes, I'm saying it's not the truth. But that doesn't mean that then I just dismiss it, I disassociate. It doesn't mean that at all. It means that I'm almost more connected, but from a much more secure, loving place. So if you could imagine our true nature to be like white light, let's set this up. I'm setting up like a little myth for you here. If we could imagine this as a science experiment and our true nature is like white light, the idea of separation is like a prism. And when the white light enters the prism, it separates out into a rainbow. Okay, we get all the separate different colors, which were always present in the white light, but they were existing together simultaneously at the same time everywhere. There was no distinction, there was no separation, there was no contrast. So when we look through the prism, we're like, oh, what's this? Look, it's so exciting, so pretty, so beautiful. Oh, that's the world. Okay, that's the idea of separation. And actually, when you look at it, you're like, oh, it's red, it's orange, it's yellow, it's green, it's blue, it's violet, it's indigo, it's all these things that it's like they're familiar to me, but I've only ever experienced it as a totality. I've never experienced it as these segments, these individual things. So the belief in separation, then we pass through this prism, okay? Then all of a sudden, somehow we splinter into infinity of apparent different pieces. Okay, so then it's not just me, it's us. But who are you? Who this? Because we've also all of a sudden got amnesia as well. I'm in this new rainbow place, but who are you and who are me? And do we want the same thing? And where are you going? And what am I doing? And all this. So then I have all this choice. I have red, I have orange, I have yellow, I have green, I have blue, I have indigo, I have violet. I have all this choice, which seems really exciting. It seems like all the choices of the world. But with choice comes preference. So then I do like yellow, not so keen on red. Really like green, but I like it when it's a bit green and a bit yellow, kind of on the cusp in the middle. Oh, yeah, we really like purple, but we very rarely get there. And so with this choice comes preferences. And with preferences comes aversions. Remember, this is the world of duality. As soon as I prefer something, that means there's something that's not preferred. So all of a sudden, I do want this and I don't want this. And I've never experienced this before. As the white light, I've been the totality of everything. I've never thought, oh, but I need to be there. Otherwise, that's where my happiness lies, because it doesn't lie here. My happiness lies in yellow, not in red. And maybe I'm aspiring to indigo, but blue would do. Or, I'm all of a sudden using my judgment. I'm using perception. And I'm judging some things as better than others, some things as worse than others, some things as more preferable than others. And that's kind of like the world that we're in. Now, on top of this, I've splintered what I am into, or it appears that I've splintered what I am into this infinity of different things. So now there's a competition. Well, we can't all, if I want to be in yellow, we can't all be in yellow. There's not enough room in yellow for all of us. So I'm sorry, but some of you are just going to have to be in orange. And if you're unlucky, you might be in red. And some of you might go to green. Don't worry, I might visit you in green every now and again. But all of a sudden now there's I need to claim what's mine. And there's an element of competition. And with that comes a looking over the shoulder, a distrust. Yes, we have kind of like friendships and allies and things like that. But, there's a them and there's an us situation, okay? Because all of a sudden, I am not the totality of everything anymore. I don't even remember being it. And so now I also see is these distinctions, these separations of all the different colors of the spectrum, okay? And some I want and some I don't want. Okay, and then I'm applying meaning to everything. Red means this, orange means that, yellow means this. Blah, 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 blah. Just I'm applying the meaning that everything has, because in and of itself, it means nothing. Okay. Now, aside from me having like this mad case of amnesia and having apparently splintered myself into all these pieces, also got this feeling in the back of my mind of, I feel like I used to have more than this. I feel like I didn't used to have to make a choice. I feel like I didn't have to earn things. I feel like I didn't have to go on a journey. I feel like there was no competition for what I wanted. I didn't feel this. I feel like this sense of lack didn't used to exist. This sense of if I get it, it means you can't have it. It's one or the other. Okay, it's competition. What I take means I have it, which means nobody else can have it. If you take something, that means I can't have it. So this feeling, this thing in the back of my head that's kind of saying, I don't think this is right. I've got this little nagging memory of the fact that it didn't used to be like this. And what seemed really exciting when I first saw this spectrum, this rainbow, all of a sudden it's become a bit of a stress for me. And sometimes it goes my way, and that's great because I want it to go my way. But if it has to go my way at the expense of everybody else, then so be it, because that's the way of the world. Do you know what I mean? So that's if you take that little science experiment as kind of like the belief in separation, and then what comes on the other side of the belief in separation, okay? So when at the time before I realized my true nature, I wasn't spiritual. I wasn't on a spiritual path. So, I'm sure this must be quite annoying as well if you are looking, being like, oh, why you? Good for you. What do you do? Do you know what I mean? But listen, I made these videos to say that I don't think we need to prove ourselves like that. I don't think we need 20 years with the guru. I don't think we need, I didn't have it and I woke up. And I'm not saying that like a hierarchical thing. I woke up, you've not. I'm not saying it like that. But what I'm saying is like, this is the next step for all of us. And if it's happened for me without any kind of formal spiritual background, without any religious background, I thought I was an atheist. Then this is for you, and it's for you right now. Okay, so living in the world, knowing that this isn't the ultimate reality, that this is some kind of illusion, this is some kind of dream, doesn't mean that I disassociate from it. It doesn't mean that I I don't help. It doesn't mean that I can't enjoy things. If anything, it means that I can engage with it on a more honest level. It's kind of like, could you imagine if we were all playing in a movie, but we'd forgot that we're just actors playing the parts? As soon as you wake up and think, oh, hang on a minute, I'm just an actor playing this part, the drama of the movie just doesn't seem quite so immediate. It's even though like there might be explosions and things going on and this happening and that happening and apocalyptic scenes. Do you know what I mean? Knowing that I'm just the actor playing the role in a movie, this is just a story that's playing out in front of me, comes with a great sense of peace. Okay, so when I've been talking about this, the world's an illusion, the world's a dream, things like that, it's not to get to a point of despair of, oh, what's the point? It's to get to a point of, oh, thank goodness it is. Because look at the world we've made. And yes, there's some beautiful things. And yes, we can choose to see the beauty, but, we have war, we have famine, we have separation, we have all these things. Do you know what I mean? And we're worth more than that. And we know we are. That's why we're dissatisfied. That's why we're dissatisfied. And we've thought, well, maybe what if I win the race, if I win the competition, if I get more than you, if I achieve this, if I achieve that, then maybe I'll be a bit more satisfied with the fact that this absolute shit show around me is not good enough for me. Do you know what I mean? Because we all have that feeling in the back of our head. We remember the purity, the oneness, the total abundance that we are, that we've never left. So this is the next beautiful thing. If it's just a dream, you never lost what you are. Because it's really funny, you know, even like religion and a lot of spirituality wants to tell us, oh, we're a soul. We're just here because we're a soul and we're experiencing a lifetime. Then we're going to go on to something else on a higher level of that. But we can't be a soul either, because that would still be separate. There is only one. There is only one. And we've never really been anything else. Paul's never existed. And for my ego to hear that, I'm really happy to throw away the parts of Paul that I didn't like, the parts of Paul that weren't good enough. But the ego in me really wants to keep the things that thought was all right. But Paul's really creative. Paul's a good laugh. Paul's, you know, his kind. Paul loves animals. Paul wants to keep the good parts, but I can't. Yeah, I'm still here. I can accept those parts of myself, but I have to truly understand that the story of Paul was just one story in a grand story that I told myself of separation. The entire story of the world, of the universe, was a story I imagined of separation, and I imagined every single part in it. Not Paul, the I, the great I, the I am. Okay, the all, just imagined the story of separation and then put itself in every single possible point of view in there and experienced separation from every point of view. Okay, we never left what we are. We just had the daydream of, could I be separate? What would it be like? And actually, I can't speak for you, but the dissatisfaction that I felt before realizing my true nature was the answer to the question, what could it be like? Well, it could be interesting for a minute, but it didn't bring me anywhere good, really. Take me home. So, because it was really important that I made this video today, because, you know, people can go in the comments and people email me and things like that. And I can understand when we're living in a world where, you know, we've got the war in Palestine, we've got the war in the Ukraine, we've got all the madness that's going on around us. And I can understand it can be like, well, just to say this is just a dream, this is not happening. It doesn't seem good enough. It doesn't seem tangible enough, because I'm still here and we are still here. I'm knocking on the wood, I'm touching my head. I'm still apparently here. So yes, with this new understanding has come a peace, has come like a hope, has come with this strength that I didn't know I had, that I can be there for you, for, you know, we're all just different aspects of the same thing, with a compassion and with a kindness that's unrelenting. So as much as I can say, I mean it truly, this world is an illusion. If I walk past a swimming pool and someone's drowning in it, I don't say, oh, don't worry, you're not a body anyway. And that's not, there's no real water. It's just a dream. Never mind. Keep on going. Of course not. I get the person out the pool. I saved the drowning man. Do you know what I mean? So we can't take this realization then to be a dissociation from it, to be a, oh, well, don't worry, if a woman falls over in front of me, I'll just step over her because I'm not really a body, she's not really a body, and there's no real world here to fall over in. Of course not. We still live normal lives, but we live it from this place of knowing the truth. And from knowing the truth, there comes this unshakable strength, this unshakable satisfaction, this it's just like it's like being full from a meal. There's a feeling of I don't need anything more. And with that feeling of I don't need anything more, I can engage with the world around me in a much healthier way than I did before. Because I'm not seeing the competition, I'm not seeing the me versus you. I'm not seeing our interests as being separate. I understand that when we thrive together. Do you know what I mean? And you couldn't have told me this before. And I can totally understand how you could be listening to this being like, but I still need to pay my rent, my mortgage. I still need to get a good job. I still want to have these expensive holidays. And we can have all of those things. The things of the world are not evil. They're not like something to deny ourselves. It's not like, an aesthetic thing, like I need to go and live in a cave now and I can't join in. Not at all, but you can join in from a place of truth, from a place of true love, not from a place of what can I get from this, not from a place of yeah, it's okay, we can make it an alliance, but at the end of the day, when it comes to the crunch, it's me or you. I just don't feel that way anymore. And it comes with this unshakable peace, this real unshakable peace. And that's what I want to share. That's the story I want to share. So if you take these last three videos as this being, the point, yes, we're living an illusionary lifetime because there is no you, there is no me. We're just characters in a dream. Okay. And the ego doesn't want to hear that at all. And then even if it lets it in a little bit, even if it'll strike a bargain with you, it says, but I want to keep the good parts and throw away the bad parts. I want to spiritualize it. Do you know what I mean? It's okay. The letting go of the idea of myself was the most joyful thing that ever happened to me. God, the day I realized my true nature, and I was like, I've just been playing. And I was laughing. Oh God, I was laughing because I was like, I've been playing a game. I was like, I was born apparently with no character. And then I started grabbing bits and putting them on. And then started convincing myself, oh yeah, this is me. Because people would ask me, who am I? What do I like? And what's my story? And I've got to have something to tell them. Otherwise, what kind of a person am I? I'm not very interesting. So you grab at all these different bits and I held it there and I took great pride in this house of cards that I built. And I knew it was really vulnerable, so I protected it. And if anyone ever questioned anything, I'd get really defensive. And I'm this, you're that, make sure the costume's on straight, make sure the mask is on. But actually that day, when I was just like, none of those things, all of that stuff that I thought I was, all that stuff that I said I was, all of those opinions that I held about myself, they were just nothing. They were just me playing along. And to be a nothing like that might sound scary, but it's not. It's joyful. It's freedom. It's total freedom. It's freedom from Paul's preferences. It's freedom from Paul's aversions. Now, don't get me wrong, they still suggest themselves to me, but I have this like mental space to respond, not react. Whereas before, it was like I was this little kind of like remote control puppet, and my reactions were already set in place. If this happens, this is what I will do. If this happens, this is what I will do. I was never truly present. I was never truly listening to hear and to understand. I was listening to respond, and I already had my response in my head before you'd even finish speaking. So come on with this like letting go of the idea of a person. Come on with this letting go of the idea of this real being, absolutely true. Just come with just such utter freedom, this sense of just blissful joy. This I can't describe it to you. I wish I could give it to you. I wish I could give it to you through the screen, but I don't need to give it to you because it's what you already are. So yeah, I wanted to make this as, as as a kind of response to myself, because I feel like you could potentially listen to those other two videos of we have no choices but two choices, and the world's not real, the world's a dream, the world's an illusion, whatever you want to talk about it, like a virtual reality game. Do you know what I mean? And then I could understand from hearing that it's a bit of a Debbie Downer, a bit like, oh no, see out the other side of it. It's joy, it's bliss, it's freedom. So I really wanted to kind of finish off this kind of trio of videos with this message because it's a positive one. It's not a message of, oh, now what? This is meant for you. Nothing special about me. Nothing special about me. I don't even exist. Paul never even existed. Okay. So this is meant for you. So I hope that resonates with somebody, and I hope you can see the hope in this story. it's not realizing the world's a dream to be like, oh, I was deceived. Now what? Now here I am in this wilderness of that means nothing. No, it's to come out the other side and be like, thank God I was wrong. Thank God that this isn't the truth. Because I was never satisfied by it. I was never satisfied with my idea of myself. I was never satisfied with the world around me. But that's okay, because it's all made up. And so now I can be here as the actor, knowing I'm in a role and being like, okay, it's a much, much more pleasant way to experience the dream. And it's for you. And it's for you right now. No achievement, nothing to prove, nothing to learn. How can you learn what you already are? Just a letting go of the opinions you held of yourself, and letting go of the errors you believed in about yourself, letting go of all of the programming. So have a little think about it, and I love you. Bye.